Let's send it over to Neda Iranpour, who's been monitoring this storm.
Well, it has arrived. So this is the lighter showers. They're already here. On our high-def Doppler, you can see some green, areas of yellow, and it's looking like right along the coast near Half Moon Bay along Highway 1. You'll run into some raindrops there, and same with near San Mateo. And it is pretty light in most locations. So if you do see, the green here, a lot of that could be in the form of Virgo, which means it's not necessarily hitting the ground. But right over the Bay Bridge, as you head towards Oakland, you may run into some raindrops. It is a lot lighter through Berkeley. Just saw some storm clouds coming through there, and that's about it. Through Hercules and Crockett along Interstate 80, there's a little bit of green showing up. And then the North Bay. So the North Bay is going to be dealing with the most amount of rainfall from this storm. And yes, they are seeing it already. Santa Rosa, Windsor right now along Highway 101, Rohnert Park as well. Petaluma, a lighter shower. Some of this may not be hitting the ground at all. No measurable precipitation, but it is definitely moist up there in the cloud coverage. Here's our Mount Vaca view. You can certainly see those dark storm clouds. And yes, I want to talk about this flood watch. So they have now issued it for the North Bay and the Santa Cruz Mountains and the North Bay coastal range as well. Look at the amount of rain expected, 3 to 4 inches for the North Bay valleys. The mountains could get up to 6. Santa Cruz Mountains could see up to 8 inches of rain. And that, of course, could lead to rock and mudslides, also debris flows in the burn areas. And then some of the rivers and creeks are expected to rise as well. Now, here in San Francisco, officials have set up temporary flood barriers in the Mission District. KPIX 5's Ann Makovic on the area that's notorious for flooding when those big storms roll through.
This is the third rainy season the city's been using these interlocking barriers to try to prevent flooding, and it sounds like this storm is going to put them to the test. This low-lying area of 17th and Folsom has been called the most flood-prone area in San Francisco.
When you have heavy rains and the water wants to go somewhere with gravity, and this is the area where it kind of comes to.
In the past, this intersection has even flooded with raw sewage, causing thousands of dollars worth of damage to businesses like the Stable Cafe. Many business owners and neighbors use sandbags to try to keep the water from creeping into their buildings. But along about 500 feet of this intersection, the city is deploying these interlocking plastic barriers or flood stops during storms. They're filling some of them with water so they don't move around and leaving others to fill up with rain. And while this is the only neighborhood getting these flood stops, the city is deploying several storm watch crews to travel around the city once the rain starts.
And they monitor during the heavy rains as well. They clear the top of the drains to make sure that the water flows through and doesn't cause intersection flooding.
The city is going to have 2 workers out here 24 hours a day until this storm is over to monitor the situation and to move some of these barriers if need be. In San Francisco, Ann Makovic, KPIX 5.